I know there's German krautrock, but is there such a thing as German krautfolk? We'll examine that next on Into the Music's Track of the Day. So I asked that question about German krautfolk. I mean, I'm being a little silly with that, but I asked because the song is different. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a little different than the other kraut rock songs that I've heard, and from the other kraut rock bands like Neu and Can and Kraftwerk. And although Kraftwerk is they're kind of a lot of their stuff, I don't know if I would call it rock. It's I don't know, it's something else, but they're kind of lumped in the krautrock, German krautrock genre. And again, so is Faust or Faust. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But this song, which I think is pronounced Psalter or Psalter, and it's actually the Book of Psalms. That's what the definition is for that word. So I don't know if that was their intent with this song, but why don't I shut up and you make that determination for yourselves, and then we'll talk on the other side. What is that instrument? I love that. It's haunting. I love it. I also love that. That just came in. I'm going to start this over because I'm talking, because it's great. But I want everyone to appreciate the beginning. So good. Love that transition. Love it. So what'd you think? I mean, definitely not a rock song, right? And definitely not heavy metal. And I say that because there is a band uh, with the same name, but they're an Italian band and they're heavy metal. So definitely not heavy metal. Um, it's really interesting when I looked at some of the comments for the song, for the video that I'm using, and the link is down below in the information, the source file. And when I looked at comments, someone mentioned Radiohead, and I was like, "Oh, that's so brilliant!" Yeah, Radiohead. Um, this definitely, I would venture a guess that Radiohead, they were influenced by krautrock, and they were influenced by a song like this. Definitely has a Radiohead feel. You know, it's got all these different sounds. I love the hand claps. I love the hand claps. Bands like the Who, and they would always throw the hand claps in. It helps with the rhythm, right? And so this song it's really it's a folk sounding song. That's why on the other side I was like German kraut folk, but it has that folk feel. But then you got this beautiful percussion that just this beat, boom, 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 boom. It's just these claps, and the time and everything. So the hand claps are going to the time and that the musicians are all sort of in tune with. Um, and while this beautiful acoustic guitar is being played, you've got this you got this rhythm that's being set, you know, by the drums, and you got the bass there. I believe you have the bass there, um, and then you got all these different sounds, and you got this instrument that I have no idea what it is. Um, I just don't know what it is. It sounds like a guitar. Like wham, 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 wham. Well, it's almost as though like someone took like a sharp knife and they're playing a harp with that. So you get this kind of steely sound, but from like a harp. You know, that's the only way I can really articulate what that sounds like to me. So, but there's a name to it. So if you know what that instrument is, um, and I point that out actually in the video, I stopped it and I'm like, what is that sound? So that's what I'm talking about. And it's really interesting that at the end of the song, where you kind of back to the acoustic, you have the sound again, like in the background, but now it no longer sounds like that instrument, whatever it is. Now it sounded like a harmonica. Unless when it was being played softer, it sounded like a harmonica, but it was still the same, whatever it is. I don't know. So again, put in the comments if you can help me out with that. But again, I love the hand claps. Uh, and yeah, and then he's got this the singer is doing this sort of sing speak kind of thing, like sort of talking. I know it's German, right? Because they're a German rock band, but it sounded French. So that's my ignorance right there. Unless someone can actually tell me, Greg, guess what? The guy's singing in French, but it sounded like it. Okay. But it was just such a damn interesting song. And it just, these guys sit down and they create this thing for like 4 minutes and change of just of acoustic. You get a folk sound, but then you get this kind of different feel to it. It's innovative, um, pushing the boundaries, right? Because I've never really heard anything like it, because with this folk song that's got these kind of sounds to it, um, and especially as the song kind of more towards the end, you would kind of hearing some other stuff. It just made it really interesting. So I love this. This is, I think I've mentioned on a couple of other episodes that I've recently dropped where I got these playlists, and one of the playlists is an instrumental one, and this one's right in there. So I love it. And so this band, Faust, German krautrock band, that's what they're sort of known for. They're one of the first acts to sign to Richard Branson's Virgin Records. That was back in the 70s. They formed in 1971, and then they broke up in 75. Then they got back together in 1990 in their current day band. Um, What's really interesting is that I couldn't find when I was doing research on this song to like what album is it on. I I can't find it. Uh, that said, after they broke up in '75, then there were these like recordings, compilations, and other stuff that have been coming out over the years. Um, and it's like material that they recorded back in the '70s, and they just never put on albums. So I wonder if this is one of those songs. From a couple of things I looked at, there's indications that that's what it is, but I don't know for sure. So if you can confirm for me, like where this song, when was it created? Is it on a particular album other than just like a compilation? Let me know. Please point me in the right direction on that. And in the meantime, I'll see all of you on next episode of Into the Music.